Charles Bukowski, Schoolyards of Forever. The schoolyard was a horror show. The bullies, the freaks, the beatings up against the wire fence, our schoolmates watching, glad that they were not the victim. We were beaten well and good time after time, and afterwards were followed, taunted all the way home, where often more beatings awaited us. In the schoolyard, the bullies ruled well, and in the restrooms and at the water fountains, they owned and disowned us at will. But in our own way, we held strong, never begged for mercy. We took it straight on, silently. We were toughened by that horror, a horror that would later serve us in good stead. And then, strangely, as we grew stronger and bolder, the bullies gradually began to back off. Grammar school, junior high, high school. We grew up like odd neglected plants, gathering nourishment where we could, blossoming in time. And later, when the bullies tried to befriend us, we turned them away. Then college, where under a new regime the bullies melted almost entirely away. We became more and they became much less. But there were new bullies now, the professors, who had to be taught the hard lessons we'd learned. We glowed madly. It was grand and easy. The co-eds dismayed at our gamble and our nerve. But we looked right through them to the larger fight waiting out there. Then, when we arrived out there, it was back up against the fence. New bullies once again deeply entrenched by society, bosses and the like, who kept us in our place for decades to come. So we had to begin all over again, in the street, and in small rooms of madness, rooms that were always dim at noon. It lasted and lasted for years like that, but our former training enabled us to endure. And after what seemed like an eternity, we finally found that tunnel at the end of the light. It was a small enough victory. No songs of braggadocio, because we knew we had won very little from very little, and that we had fought so hard to be free just for the simple sweetness of it. But even now, we still can see the grade school janitor with his broom and sleeping face. We can still see the little girls with their curls, their hair so carefully brushed and shining, in their freshly starched dresses. See the faces of the teachers, fat, folded, forlorn. Hear the bell at recess. See the grass and the baseball diamond. See the volleyball court and its white net. Feel the sun, always up and shining there, spilling down on us like the juice of a giant tangerine. And we did not soon forget Herbie Ashcroft, our principal tormentor, his fists as hard as rocks, as we crouched, trapped against the steel fence, as we heard the sounds of automobiles passing by but not stopping. And as the world went about doing what it does, we asked for no mercy, and we returned the next day, and the next and the next, to our classes, the little girls looking so calm and secure as they sat upright in their seats, in that room of blackboards and chalk, while we hung on grimly to our stubborn disdain for all the horror and all the strife, and waited for something better to come along and comfort us in that never-to-be-forgotten grammar school world.